Okay, now I think I'm ready to greet everyone. So, peace, blessings, the abundance of the universe is with you. It is with us all. And the month of May, today's date, May 5th, 2025. They call it the 555 portal. It is no turning back from the advancement of the new age of Aquarius. This is a very, very exciting time for all. Now, I am the messenger. I am the P-B-S DIGIPRENEUR, and I'm here to share my time with you to help you understand just what's going on for us as a collective, as humanity, as a body of beings within the galaxy. There's a timeline, there's a historical reference to us, and there is a future. Now, how will that pan out in terms of how we see things now? Things will change. Perceptions will change. The values that we are dealing with in this third dimension will no longer suffice. They will not be applicable to a point of being sufficient to fulfill God's will. So there will be new standards dealing with the principles of love, caring, sharing, unity, collaboration, cooperation, support, encouragement, joy, celebration. You know, the positive aspects, there are enough of the base aspects of frequency manifestation that we do not need to deal with those things in the sense of our creativity, other than to understand those particular frequencies. But I digress. I'm here today because I want to talk about me. I am the messenger. I am the P-B-S DIGIPRENEUR, and I am the owner of the P-B-S DIGIPRENEUR, the founder. This organization is based upon a standard of bringing into the front of commercial interaction entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs from marginalized communities throughout the world to work within their communities and to interact with other communities to create networks of support and communications and opportunity so that the people at the grassroots level will have a fundamental control of their destiny through their efforts. They will reap the abundance of their efforts and their ideas and their creations. This is very important. It's a very different situation than we've dealt with because it's been the, he who hath the gold rule the golden rule. He who hath the gold rules. And they fight over it and kill and leave bodies in their wake, trying to get away with it. They've been doing that for 12,000 years. Time's up. Oh, time's up. We are witnessing the ushering in of a new age of higher consciousness and the fifth dimension of spirituality, which will allow us to co-create, to know our place within the galaxy. And not only know it, but to participate as it should be. Right now, and for some time, we've been quite isolated. The plans weren't for that. But we are entering into an era where all the shenanigans and all the nonsense and all the chicanery and all the mighty heave-ho and he's got the guns, I got the butter, the war, the killing for the sake of profit, the medicinal chicanery, the snake oil salesman, the insurance and the pharmaceutical racket. You know, these things are going to be put into check. We've seen a little bit of that with regard to the opioid situation. It's just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many things. It's hard to actually sit here and make sense and try to talk about them when, first of all, our media doesn't talk about them. Second of all, people don't understand what they don't hear about or what's not on some mainstream feed. So, but I digress in that sense because it's not here about what you don't know. It's what you are here to learn. And that is that this is about you and you and you over there and all y'all, everyone, me too. It's about us. It's about us as a collective. This is about us moving ahead as a species and becoming more of what we are, to return to that which we are. Now, why do I feel like I'm qualified to say this? Well, I do. But it isn't because I decided to think that I could get up here and just say, hey, you know, I am inspired. I am the messenger. I'm appointed. My responsibility is to move forward and to point out that there is a situation and that the situation is your attention is distracted from your Savior and that you are given notice to correct that. Now, you might say, that's pretty arrogant for you to come on there. Well, it's not me. That's the message. You know, I understand how we as a society think that we can set degrees of how we should be honored and respected. And that's worked. It's also been the basis of a cover-up for the misuse and abuse of the masses to almost set another level of ha-ha, look, they went for that one, into the picture of how they have divided and conquered us to their own benefit, their own enrichment, to the loss of life, health, prosperity, opportunity, generational security for 12,000 years, at least. And it may go on for some time yet, but you can just about bet you won't have any problem if your heart and soul belong to God and you show what you know as a part of the new age. Your integrity. You remain steadfast. Will you remain steadfast? Will you stick to it? Or will you be looking over and see, you hear the jukeboxes and you're going to get the call back, you're going to fall back, you're going to backslide? Okay? Because this is the thing. You know, anything worth having is worth working for. In this instance, the blessings are provided sans the requirement of toil and effort. There are some factors that are necessary. Belief, faith. Those things are very much in obedience. What does obedience mean? That means to glorify God. How does that happen? Through our behavior. What are those behaviors? Well, again, we go back to the jukebox, racetrack, down to the casino. I mean, wherever you can get in devices, grab that tobacco and tip that jug and, draw that line up your nose. Those are the factors that play a role in disobeying God. Because you defile the temple, if it's not a sacrament, it should not be in the equation. Very important for all of us to understand how we can besmirch, maybe unwittingly, but once you know, you can't not know. But it's important for us to understand what the transgressions are. The angry words spoken for no apparent reason, of no necessity, absolute meanness, anger, violence. These things have to be given up. And I don't mean with a fight. I'm saying they must be given up willingly and gladly, to be shed of those things. You know what? The weight of those things they are highly dense. The spiritual resonance, the frequency that surrounds those things is so heavy they can't be brought into the higher realms, because the higher realms are more subtle, more ethereal. You must be very careful if you find yourself in a bind. Understand the forces and understand how they cooperate or they condemn. There's an understanding that comes with your obedience, your faith, your belief. And along with those things are your actions, your behavior. I started out talking about the club. Well, obviously, when you start talking about the club, you're talking about, getting a little bit of love, that type of thing. The wantonness. The sexual promiscuity. The it's my body, my choice standard. These things are not glorifying God. And He may speak to that. I won't go any further at this point. I'm sure there will be some feedback. And why am I coming this way? I'm the messenger. It's my job to bring the uncomfortable truths to the table, to be manifested, and to be cleared, to be released, so that they are not the weight that prohibits our ascension, our rise to a higher level of existence. Oh, that person you forgave 4 or 5 times about the same thing, but every time you got mad at them, you bring it up. Well, you can't cloak your forgiveness in some seeming Christian spiritual release and then hold on to it like you stuffed it in your pocket at the last minute and acted like you was Houdini and released it. It didn't go nowhere. Because it comes back. That, as part of the 555 portal, should be pushed right out the door so it doesn't have any more say. It's gone. When this portal closes, those things that could have been addressed may have to wait or find some other means to do so. Don't despair. There are ways. This 555 portal is one of the most potent means. Prayer, meditation, supplication, journaling. I even have self-talk. Self-talk occurs at all times. Maybe multiple conversations in self-talk. Who's talking? Are you hearing and knowing what's said? Do you forget the things that go through your mind? This is very important because it deals with the focus of resonance, frequency, capturing. And that is why the baggage has to go. That is why, in order for us to remain steadfast, we have to have the integrity of a fully equipped entity without unnecessary fittings, problems, things that will not go where we need to go. So if that's the case, then we're holding on to them or they're attached to us. And they won't go. They won't let us ascend. We're not going to ascend. You won't. Maybe, if you don't let go. That's the important thing. The integrity of what the commitment is about to be a new age digital entrepreneur is about being able to let go of those grudges, those slights, and to bring those things to the table and push them through the 555 portal and pray for their release so that that situation can be given to God and the universe.